All right, welcome back to the Perform podcast, special episode number 30.
30?
Made it to 30.
Yes.
But today we've got a special one in terms of we are welcoming our new coach, Kellie Gibson, to the team. And it's part of our initiation process to get you on the podcast and learn about you. It's been heavily requested by the athletes. A few people wanted to ask a fair few questions, but but we obviously want to get you on the podcast, get the athletes to know who you are.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're in a unique situation, unlike the rest of us failed athletes. You're still competing at the high level, so you're an actual inspiration to our athletes, unlike us. But yeah, we want to just learn about your story, learn about your journey, and I think just for the crew in here, because a lot of them have aspirations to work to the same kind of level as well. Just for them to hear your voice, the story, the ups, the downs, everything you've been through.
Yeah.
And then also importantly, just touch on like the start of your journey as being a coach, and how that's all come about. But what I thought we might do is just start with the very start, back to day one, the athletic journey. So like, where did you start?
Yeah.
How old were you when you started sport? What sport did you start playing, etc.?
Yeah, I was about 8 or 9, and my main sport was athletics. So I like to call myself a speedy, a high acceleration type of player. And that's kind of where it started. So I was just really good at running in a straight line. Yeah. So 200s, 100s were like my main event that I would really look forward to at Little Athletics. So Kingsway was my home club, so shout out to them. Yeah. Did that for a good 10 years, hey. But I started athletics when I was 8 or 9, and then in the off season during winter I was like, well, I'm not doing anything other than probably school sport or anything like that. And my dad and I always loved watching the West Coast boys play. And I think it was the 06 premiership or 05 that West Coast lost, that I was like, oh, I really love footy. Always kicked the footy with my dad. And then I started playing against the boys when I was about 10. And it was actually kind of funny because back then I had to get permission, verbal permission, but also a permission slip as well when I was playing at school. My sports teacher, I was in primary school, it was such a crazy memory. She was like, yeah, we would love to have you on board, but we've got to circle up the boys and just ask them if they're okay with it. It's so super strange, talking about it now, but at the time I was of course, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So I did that, and they were like, of course you can play. It was nothing to them. Yeah. And one of the dads, he was the local coach of under 12s or whatever it was at the time, and just kind of started from there with footy, and I just kept playing. I did about 4 seasons with the boys, and then turned about 13, and then they're like, okay, look, they're getting too big. You're going to have to stop. And I didn't know if there was any women's teams at the time. I was going to just stop footy altogether and just focus on athletics and just have the winter just hang out with my friends and stuff and be a teenager. And it was just through a conversation my dad had someone, and they're like, oh, there's a female team down at Swan Districts. You can go down there. And we went down there, and I remember rocking up those half long skins, footy shorts, my West Coast jersey, because that's what you wore at junior league. And you rock up, and there was grown women, and I was 13 going on 14, and they're all in their Swan Districts gear, and I just felt so out of place because I was like, oh my God, this is not cool. Yeah. Scary, little 13-year-old playing and training with grown women, because there was no rules back then. Did that for a few years and really fell in love with it, and I was like, oh, I'm actually really good at it. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I was a lot better at footy. Yeah, than I was at athletics, and I felt like it was a better future in that, even though there was no AFLW at the time, and it never occurred to me that I would never play at the highest level. It was just something that I did, and I was like, I want to be the best at this. And then I finished athletics and thought I would have my summers back and just concentrate on footy as my main sport. And once I've done that, I was like, yeah, that's my decision. One of my mates was like, do you want to come down and just throw the footy around? And I was like, what do you mean throw the footy around? And they're like, no, rugby. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess so. I'll come down during the summer. And one of the girls that plays at Freo, Hayley Miller, she was meant to come down as well, but she never ended up coming. I don't know why. But I went there, trained, and then I had the coach calling me up that night being like, hey, we would really love you on the team. to travel for the state squad. And I was like, oh, I'm not taking it that seriously. I just wanted to hang out. So I went down like one other time, and then he was like, you sure you don't want to do it? And I was like, yeah, like I'm good. And then 2 weeks prior to them flying out, they were like, hey, we had an injury. We'd still love to have you on board. Like, we think you're great. It's $800 come to Queensland. And I was like,
How much rugby do you play at this point?
Like 3 or 4 weeks. Like none. But I was playing the wing spot, so I basically learned that if you get the ball, you just run away from everyone. So it's pretty straightforward. Like, yeah, exactly. So I did that, and then I went over and competed. And again, like, I just didn't really think too much of it. No pressure. I just went out and had some fun. And the Aussie coach at the time was, I don't know, they were scouting, but they were there looking at the comp, and he came up to me and he was like, introduced himself, and he was like, oh, like, love the way you play. Like, how long have you been playing rugby for? And like, looks like you've been playing for a couple of years. And I was like, oh, well, AFL is my background, but I've been playing for like 3 or 4 weeks, like just at training. And he was pretty like shocked. So that was cool. I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, we would love to have you. Like, we'll fly you over to Queensland. Oh, sorry, to New South Wales, like every month. We'll pay for it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was cool. So I did that, and I was just like, I just said yes. Like, I was just like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And then they offered me a contract. I was 17 at the time, and mum and dad had the power. So they were like, look, we don't think this is probably the right thing for you right now. If they want to take you more seriously a little bit later on when you're a bit older, then yes. And then I kept going to these, they were trials, but I didn't know they were trials. Yeah. And people, like lesser people were showing up. And then I managed to get into the Youth Olympics.
Just fell into the league.
Yeah, I just snowballed. Right, the thing about saying yes, you just do it. And I'm getting free flights to go like to New South Wales and train at their main facility and stuff like that. So did that, and then competed in the Youth Olympics, and we won gold medal. And I just like did that. It was really cool. And then just kept continuing with footy and played West Coast, or played at Adelaide in the first year, and was lucky enough to win a premiership there. Moved home, played for Freo for 2 seasons with a bit of injury, and then since 2020, I've been at West Coast.
Yeah, wow. So what age were you playing the Youth Olympics?
I was 18. So I was a top ager. Yep.
Yeah, wow. So you've played the Youth Olympics, and then from there you just went straight back to footy?
Yeah.
Straight across, so like an 18, 19.
Yep. So like I think we played in August of 2014.
Yep.
Got back, and like it was a crazy time. Like it was 2 weeks at like it was basically the Olympics. It was crazy. In our village and all that, and we were lucky. Our comp was like first 4 days of the 2 weeks. So, and then after that, you can't fly home. Like you have to wait for the team to be finished. Like every sport. Yeah. So we just got to hang out and meet other people from different countries. Go watch different sports. I never got to track and field though for some reason, because you had to go in like a group.
Yeah.
I never went there, but I watched hockey and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. But I got back, and then I didn't really hear much from them after that. I don't know if that's a thing, because it's not it's like sevens especially, it's not the main. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Like I've got a gold medal. Like I am good. I think I got there one way or the other. So I was like, yep. And then I just like mentally made a note, like I think I'm just going to take footy seriously now. And 6 months later, AFLW got announced.
Yeah, right. Timing. So
Crazy. I was just like, I was happy with that. And then I heard from them probably 7 or 8 months later, and they were like, hey, we would love you to come to Fiji and play like in Fiji for rugby sevens. And I said no.
Yeah, wow.
I was like,
so that could have been down a completely different path.
Yeah, I think I was actually like more like, I don't think I'm capable of making another decision based on sport. Like I'd already been like, I've done what I've done. I want to take footy seriously. I didn't want to like move away from home. Eventually I did that anyway, but yeah.
All right. And then you've moved in, so finished rugby. How did the contract come up with Adelaide then? Because you're from WA?
Yep.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, it was kind of like another, I guess, like seeking opportunities. I was going on 19, I think, 18, 19. And I was just looking for a job in footy, because I really liked teaching kids how to play footy, or I worked a lot in development down at Swan Districts. as an intern, and I thought it was really great. And I'm, again, like, I feel like I'm good at it, so I've got good people skills. Uni wasn't really on the horizon at that time. So I spoke to one of the ladies that worked at the AFL, and I said, like, this is what I'm looking for. And then she goes, oh, funny enough, like, we've got AFLW coming up, like, we need people to go to different states, especially the WA girls, because there's so many of you. So they sent 16 players across the state, across the country, to go to different teams. So myself and Chelsea Randall, who still plays at Adelaide, we both got sent to Adelaide. I went 4 or 5 months before her, and I was working at the Sandful. And that's just how I got the position at Adelaide. Like, they're like, yeah, if you're willing to go across the country, we'll give you a job. You can play footy. And I was like, sign me up.
What was because obviously 19, moving into state, it's kind of a big scary move. Like, was it, didn't even think about it, just jumped and went? Was it like,
yes and no,
a little bit of fear, took a while to settle in? Because I know some people struggle to move.
Yeah, I think like that was the ultimate decision of me returning back to Perth. I feel like I will do things impulsively without probably thinking the whole thing through, which has worked out in many situations, obviously. But said yes, wanted the job, got it, and I was very lucky then to get on the list at Adelaide, and it just happened. And I was in Adelaide basically by myself without Chelsea there, because we had played at Swan Districts for 7-8 years already by then. So, I was kind of waiting for her to come across, and I had no friends, had no family over in Adelaide, and I was kind of just waiting for training to start. And I was working. It's the first time I had a full-time job, and it was tough. Like leaving relationships and family and friends, and it was something that I found very challenging. And not being able to navigate like those feelings was definitely challenging for me. But the footy club tried their best, and they were also then not struggling, but also trying to find like the balance of like trying to help athletes out and players out. But it's like their first go as well at doing it.
It'll be new for them too.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It was. I was surrounded by footy. Like worked in footy and I played footy, so I basically had no days off. I'd come home from a day at work and it'd be like 8 o'clock because I've been at wherever it is for a clinic, and I've got to get up at 6 o'clock next morning and do a session of footy, and then I go back to work after that, and it's just like on repeat. And then the most bizarre thing was balancing like, okay, well, we're doing a really good job at Adelaide and playing really good footy, and it was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was like fame, but it was like people knew who you were, and Adelaide's very, very small. Yeah. And I remember one of the games, like a home game, they had like a thing for girls footy at halftime or something, and they were giving out my business cards that had my mobile number on it. That in like hindsight now, I'm like, probably shouldn't have been like a thing, but like I would get people prank calling me all the time because then they'd see you on TV and go, oh, I've got her number. Yeah. So like things like that, like were very difficult to navigate and to understand. And then like you can have all the money. I was 19 and probably on upwards of 80, 90K, including my football contract, which wasn't that much back then. Like money didn't really make me happy. I won a premiership and I was thrilled and I was so stoked, and I'll never take that for granted. But again, like I wasn't in an environment that I felt at home, and that's what led to my decision to come back.
Over your time in professional sport, have you seen that trend change in terms of like the difference between the emphasis on home when you first started versus the emphasis on home now? What's the difference like? What does it look like? Is there staffing? Is there things that are different now?
I think like, because now that when the girls get drafted, it's a normal draft. So if you get drafted to Victoria and you're from Perth, like you've got to go. Whereas back then it was like state-based. Yeah. So it was just the 16 of us that got split up. And I think like the clubs treat it so differently to how they did by going, okay, well, it's very important you have hobbies outside of what you're doing. You're not surrounding yourself with footy 24/7 because it becomes very consuming, and then you end up resenting the game or not coming to training and giving your best performance, and your world's not this big. Like it has to be this big. And there's a big drive in terms of that kind of stuff, but also like there's not just you who's done it. There's 4 other girls right now who have probably done it, or guys, and they're doing it with you in the same boat. So, like, if you guys want to go watch, like, a basketball game or something, like, get 4 tickets. Don't go at all. Not go at all. So there's that big emphasis on, footy's not your entire world. Yeah. So, yeah.
Should be super important.
Yeah.
Like, to have that balance. Like, I feel there'd be some, for us, in terms of even just, like, the juniors and the youth side of things, where it's like, it becomes your whole world and your whole identity. And then something like an injury pops up. And then all of a sudden your whole identity's gone, and then you're like, what do I do now? Like, have you had any situations like that, any injuries or anything that pop up along the way, or roadblocks? Or
I think, like, again, like with the injuries, it's tough. But, like, your identity isn't your sport. And as much as that's probably really confusing to understand, that you're more than, I guess, like, your performance or, like, the athlete. It's very, very important that you get it right, but you're not making that your entire personality and your identity. You know, that's not what makes you valuable.
When did that click for you?
It's still clicking. It's
cool.
still clicking.
As in, like, you're still working on it now? You're
absolutely.
Still, like,
because it can be balanced with, like, okay, well, there's not the immediate performance in terms of, like, games. Like, if you're not playing, you can feel very, like, well, I'm training really well and I'm not injured and, you know, I'm doing X, Y, Z, but I'm not playing. Like, it doesn't make you feel very, like, I guess, good for one, but valued in a way. But if you put all your eggs in that basket, of course, like, you're not going to feel very valued as a person, and you can, like, get consumed by it. It's the same thing with an injury. I've had my first year at Adelaide, I rolled my ankle, ended up having surgery on that right after the season had finished. And that was tough, like, rehabbing that and having a surgery, and you're in rehab and you're doing all these things, but you're the only one doing it. And you're missing out on all the connection side of things with the team and all that kind of stuff. And going into a new team, that's even harder, because you're not just, like, going into a familiar environment, like, you've actually got to create relationships. But when you're isolated from a group, it's really tough. So you have to go out of your way. But when you're settling back into something or going into a new environment, like, there's no, like, normalcy, like, it's tough. My ACL I done at the age of 26, and that was really challenging, because obviously that's not a short fix. I call myself lucky because I only done an ACL. I didn't shit mix my knee.
Shit mix. Yeah,
Sorry,
right.
I don't know if we're allowed to swear.
There's been worse stuff said on this podcast.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
I was going to say, I was lucky. I had 2 other girls do their knees in that year. One of them was, like, 4 weeks before me. And I basically, like, we got to hang out, and Chinny, he was really, really good, and we ended up having, like, our own little group chat, and we would go on dinners and we'd do this, and we just made it very purposeful and not just consuming ourselves with our rehab program and forgetting about footy or, you know, all those things that can just come into play. So it's just, you got to make sure you got something outside of that you can work towards or that you enjoy. Like, right now I'm into my golf era, so I try and play now once a week if I can, and I am so bad. Like, if you want people to see how bad you are, then just look at my Instagram, and it's pretty bad. So, like, that stuff is good, and it's a humbling experience to play golf. But it's like
addictive, but it's addictive because you're so bad at it, and then you want to get good at it because you're competitive. Yeah. But then you keep getting shit, so then you keep going back, and then it's just
it's hard. So, and then on the flip side of that, if I don't want to go outside and, you know, I just want to have a bit of me time, I jump on Fortnite, PlayStation. Like, I love gaming, which is, it's a side quest kind of thing, but it just takes me out of the world that I'm living in, and I can just shut the door and headphones are on, and then I can just immerse myself for a few hours. Or reading my Kindle, like, so many different things, but you got to find them. It's hard.
It's good because I feel like a lot of people don't even know where to start. And, like, you've already said a couple there where it's like even just within your like Team Rehab had their own thing, and like dinners and socialising and gaming and golf and books, and there's millions of different things you can do, but I'm sure for you it was a lot of trial and error and finding what worked and what didn't work.
And we have a group chat now because I'm on the back end of rehab, basically out of rehab, but we have like a, I don't have it in Perth, but it's I don't know, like what they call it, like a smash squad or something. And you basically just like take like buy plates from Salvos and you just go to the like rocks at the
like
beach
smash it, yeah.
and you smash things. So like if you're feeling really shitty,
Yeah.
there was a few of us yesterday that were feeling like really shitty at training, and we were like, let's go, like we're gonna go do this. Let's go like buy
break some
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna go
Cool.
break some stuff. I don't know what it's called. Like you have it in Melbourne, you can like
I
literally
think I've
like
heard
batter
of that,
up
yeah.
and you just smash
They just
it.
get like trash and stuff, and you just go in and smash it, throw it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so like just things like that. Like
Yeah.
if you need to be outwardly expressing yourself, that's in a way that's probably not recommended. Like go do that.
Go smash some stuff.
Go
break some
smash stuff. I recommend.
Yeah, cool. Like just going through your like ACL rehab, and even just your rehabs in general. Like, how have you navigated those? And I'm just kind of just asking from the sense of those listening, like who are going through injury processes now. Like, is there, I don't know, a framework that you use? Is it something that you think about? Obviously, outside of like getting outside of the bubble of the injury as well. Is there anything else you can recommend to people that you've learned over your experience?
Well, like my rehab feels like a long time ago, but there's still stuff now that I'm doing to tick the box, I guess, mentally.
Yeah, okay.
I found that for me, like the physical side of things, because I'm a very like see it, touch it, do it type of learner, and I want to know why. Like poor Chinny, like he would be like, we're doing this, and we're being introduced to something like parkour, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Like I want to know why.
Yeah.
I'm not just doing it, whereas other people will just do it and just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So like understanding like the movements and behind them and why I wanted to do them and what was my focus on those, like it took away from the fact that I was rehabbing. But I also do things now that tick off mentally because a lot of it is upstairs, like with these big injuries. And I still struggle now sometimes jumping into a contest because that's how I did my ACL. I saw a psych, still seeing a psych about performance, all that kind of stuff, and trying to expose myself to different methods of, what it is I'm scared of. So I'm still doing all those kinds of things, and I prep every session. Just because you graduate from essentially like the rehab of the 9 to 12 months, like it doesn't actually stop. And I wish I'd done these things before I did my ACL.
What do you wish you did beforehand? Like obviously it's hindsight because it's always one of those hard things. Like we always look back in hindsight like, oh, I should have done this. But like, is there anything you'd now like look at your younger self and be like, do this?
And it's going to sound so lame, but like stretch and mobility. I was telling Ella Roberts like 2 years ago that maybe you should stretch before a sesh, and like it's the same as like kicking your legs in. Yeah. You don't want to get like out there and just like this is your first kick in your drill. Like you want to, it's the same thing. Yeah, you want to prep. Yeah. So like stretch, mobility, like just get a foam roller, like spend 15 minutes of that hour that we get to prep, just doing those types of things, because by the time you get out there, you're not like, oh, fuck, I wish I'd just done that a little bit earlier, and not just before training, like mobility on my recovery days, because that is super important. So yeah, I wish I'd probably started doing that before I got injured, because that's what kids do. Yeah. You wait for something bad to happen, and then you go, oh, okay, now I'll do it. It's like, well, injury prevention is actually like to prevent it from happening. So yeah, I wish I'd just done that.
When did you start in the gym?
I was 16 when I first started.
16, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was like heavy lifting. Yeah. Silly.
Too heavy.
Yeah, well, 4 weeks in, I tore my hamstring, so don't do that.
That's a good piece of advice.
Yeah,
but I think that's part of it too. Like you get a lot of, like you said, like a lot of rehab journeys where like they start in the gym within rehab.
Yep.
Which is like a completely difficult challenge because you're going to have deficits already because of the natural where you are sitting behind. So like even that importance of just getting in the gym and doing strength training and doing that base level of conditioning and everything to give you a bit of a base. Because I feel like that's a big element as well. It's like, people come in, they'll do nothing, get injured, and then it's like,
oh, now
you're starting performance and rehab at the same time.
Yeah, and like I think that's one of my biggest things right now, like being in female football, and I've had the opportunities over the last few months to expose myself to, I guess, being not the athlete and being more the staff or the coach, and I went and did like a 2 to 3 month stint with the 18s and the 16s girls footy, and just seeing like some of those girls that are more the 16-year-olds that are like coming in at a really high level, like a state level, and they've never lifted a bar before, or like can't go into a gym, or like they can't lift, or they don't understand like how to not hurt yourself while doing a squat. Like it's eye opening. And I would love nothing more than like to, I guess if I was going to leave something with the sport or any sport, it would be like, if you can learn to get in and, you know, do these things that it's basics when you're 14, 15, 16. So when you are getting into a program, like they're not teaching you these things because they take months. Like, you know, you can just go from here instead of back here. You're not closing that gap. Yeah, so my advice would be like, if you can get in with a partner, or like if you're not too sure what to do, how to move or anything like that, like sign up to the gym, ask reception, be like, this is my first time. You're probably going to have to be with your parent anyway. And just say, hey, can you get a PT to help me do this? Yeah. You know, like, come see us. We'll help you.
Come see Kellie. She can play.
We'll help you.
But that's massive, and I feel that's an area that I feel like you're already being a bit of an inspiration to our crew as well. But which is probably good to switch Kellies in terms of like, you've got the athlete Kellie, now you've got the coach Kellie. So
Coach Kellie,
You've obviously finished your sports science, you've transitioned into this work, and even that's probably the first question is like, how are you finding the balance between being an athlete and being a coach?
Yeah.
What do you see that probably most of us wouldn't see being in both sides?
Yeah, I think like it's more like seeing the movement pattern or understanding why we're doing it, or like what's important about it, and just like controlling those things. That's probably a really wild answer, but yeah, like not just kind of like brushing over things.
Like you're trying to get that deeper understanding of what you're doing, on the deeper level, not just like that fringe level, that top level, surface level of cool, sweet.
Yeah, like just being at like high end of things and like your expectation and, you know, like activations and all these things. And it's like I do see some of the girls that we're at now at footy, and, you know, they're young and they're just like, okay, well, I'm being told to do it, so I'll do it. There's just no understanding behind why we're doing it. So I think like if I put my hat on for being a coach, like that's probably like an avenue I'll take, or like the angle I'll take with my type of coaching is like, I'm not just telling you to do it because like it's in your program, or, you know, like I'll explain to you in the shortest time that I can, like 3 dot points as to why you're doing it and how that aligns with you. I think that's really, really important to get that focus across, because like no one just wants to be told what to do all the time. Yeah,
and there's always like everyone's got their own little goals. Like even if someone comes in and they're not injured, they've got a goal to make the state team, or they've got the goal to make the national team, or they've got the goal to whatever it is. So it's like they're in there for a reason. They have a goal. So if they can get that 1, 2, 3, this is how it's going to get you there.
And there'll be like nothing better than like if you're an athlete who's 18 and you've done 2-3 years of this stuff already, and they go, all right, well, we're going to get you in, and, you know, we'll, as a group or whatever, and, you know, we're just going to start off light and we'll do these types of movements, and you just slap on like 15 kilos on each side and then you can do your movement perfectly fine. Like, if I was a coach, I'd be like, slay. Like, okay, well, we don't need to start you here. Yeah. You know, like that would just be such a like chest bump moment. That would be a dream. Like
100%. It looks professional.
Exactly. Like, you know what you're doing. Like they take you a little bit more seriously. They might think you're a little bit more mature as well. Like, you know, you want to be an athlete and you're here for a reason. And if you know how to do all those, like that's a great start.
How much of that is important in, again, good that you can see it from both, but like the non-athletic elements, how important is that in the high performance era? Like arena, like that, like turning up early, being able to do activation, knowing when you're doing it, like how important is that?
Well, I'll give you an example. Like Sammy, our S&C, like told our group like day 1 preseason 2 weeks ago was like, so prep is from 8 a.m. So prep is like, that can start from getting strapped, seeing medicos, like seeing a physio if you've got a niggle, or you do all your groin squeezes, and then you do your mobility, and then you go out and then you can do like your skill stuff, skill acquisition, all that kind of stuff. So that's what prep's for, and it goes for about an hour. And for me, I'm like, okay, well, I know that if I'm getting strapped at 8 o'clock, there's probably going to be like 6 other players that are getting strapped, and there's only 3 trainers. Chinny's one of those that he's doing the rehab girl, so technically there's only 2. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to get there. I need to eat breakfast. I need to make sure I'm fueling. So I'm going to get there like at 7. So then I have 20 minutes to chat and talk shit and have my brekkie and have my coffee. Like, but then I can like switch slowly into like, okay, well, do I need to get a meeting or do I need to do this? Or, okay, I'll get in 10 minutes before 8 o'clock and go to Shan, who I've known for a long time, and go, can you just quickly strap my ankles before everyone else gets there? Because then I can go and do this, this, and this, because I know that's what's working for me at the moment. Yeah. So it's just like having a breakdown of, okay, yeah, this is what I need. But then Sammy's still telling the girls, you have to be here by no later than 8:15. Even if you have nothing to do, you are here by 8:15. Starts at 8, but you can't be here any later, 8:15. It's just setting like elite standards, because you might find something that you might want to do, or you might have to go see the dietitian real quick, and that might take 10-15 minutes. You don't know. Or go see a coach. You don't know. You don't know what's going to pop up. So they're just really important like habits to find out, to work out, and create for yourself that what works for you.
So it's like if you're going into a high performance environment, that's what happens. So it's like if you can get prepped before you get in there.
Yeah. Like you got to prep before prep.
Prep for the prep.
Yeah. Prep before training. Like you got to prep to prep. So I don't know. Yeah. It's just wriggle room. Like, give yourself an hour, and it might take you a couple of weeks to find out. But it's like a goal routine. Yeah. Like, set shot. You figure out what works for you, because it's, like, repetitive. You just got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Handballing on your non-dominant side. Like, if that's an expectation, like, yeah, okay, we're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. It's no different to making sure you're having breakfast and fueling the right way, having the thing that you like, which is a coffee, and then getting your strapping done. Like, it's religious. It becomes Bible. So
it's just finding all those elements of your profile, essentially, of who you are, and obviously keeping in mind that it goes just beyond the gym. Like, it goes beyond the gym and the field. Like,
absolutely, yeah. And like, we have 2 girls, and they're like, bless their souls, they get in on our main sessions. They'll get in on 7 o'clock, I think, and they're doing recovery before the main session. So they'll go hot colds, or they might just do warm, like up to them how they're feeling, and they just blast the music for 40 or 30 minutes, and that's just their way of prepping their body. Like, and they're second and third year players. Yeah. So they've learned how to do that, and that's great.
That's awesome. It's just like everyone's got their own strategy, hey?
Yeah. So you come in and they pull up. Like the other day they were playing Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry, I think, blasting it. It's like offices right there, but it's 7 a.m, so it's fine, but it's a vibe.
Just walking, you're like, who's playing that music?
Yeah, what's going on? Who's crying?
I guess that picks up the energy every time you walk in the gym. You're like, oh, that's something new.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then, so obviously making this transition across, what made you want to go to S&C? Like S&C specifically?
Yeah, I went to, I didn't go to uni until I was 23. Yep. One, because I didn't think I would actually get into uni, because I didn't do, it's ATAR, I think it's called. Didn't do that. And then I did all these certs, and I ended up working a lot in like community and development and all that kind of stuff. But then I also did a little bit of coaching, like footy coaching. And then I just kind of thought, I definitely don't want to work in community, because after a while it feels like it's a bit more like babysitting, like especially with the young kids. Your school holiday programs and all that kind of, they just drop their kids off and go see ya. And it's great, but it's like it can be really exhausting. Yeah, so I was like, I don't think I want to do that. Like, I love kids and stuff like that, but not that much. And then coaching, I was like, I think I like coaching as like something that's fun to do, but not a serious like job. And I felt like the happy medium with that was like, I can still help people. I can make it enjoyable and fun. I can still work with younger athletes or whoever it is, elite athletes. The variety's there, but at the end of the day, like, if we can have a crisp high five and I can send you on your way and you excel in your sport, like, that makes my heart big. So S&C was, or high performance was definitely that avenue. And it came through like conversations with people that I knew, and they said, oh, you know, sports science like this. And I looked at the units that Curtin had, and I was like, oh my God, like, yes, I can't wait to do that. Like, can't wait to do this, this, and this. So I got into uni, and then it took me 7 years to complete it, just because I did it for part-time. Yeah, and I just slowly found out what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, what I thought was silly about the degree, all that kind of stuff. And then I really liked the elite high performance side of things versus maybe my community side. But then again, like I'm still learning and adapting like what I really like. But I think like the return to sport, injury prevention, education side of things, and kind of trying to like mitigate the injuries that happen, and introducing people to, you know, the elite side of things without actually being an elite program.
Yeah.
I think is something that I want to dive into a little bit more. And like when I think about something in the future, that's definitely the things that I like to, that make me a little bit more like inclined to do it. So that's just where it leaned towards. And yeah, like people like yourself and Chinny and like the footy club and working there. And I got to do my prac with the boys at West Coast last year. And that was really, really cool, like seeing their injury prevention and like their return to play protocols and exposing myself to all these different things. Yeah, and I love the interaction between like physio, strength and conditioning, and if it's club, like footy and the coaches and how it all integrates. But then also being the athlete outside of those. Like I've done my knee, so it's like seeing how all that kind of like, they interact. And Chinny's just like, he's amazing, and working with him during such a vulnerable time, doing a knee. And it's like you lean on people like that so much. And like if I can help someone like that, then I feel like I'm doing a good job. Yeah. So that's kind of where it's like it happened. Like,
yeah, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's obviously super important. Like you've got your own why behind it. You've gone through the journey. You know what it feels like. But then at the same time, you're at that point where you're like, I want to help. I want to help. And so it's always that thing of like you just want to pass on what you wish you had back then.
Yeah, yeah.
And hand that down to everybody else, which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
We've only got a couple of minutes left.
Yes.
We got to finish up, but I'm just going to scroll through a couple of different questions.
Yes. Like rapid fire?
Rapid fire. All right. And go through a couple of different ones.
Okay.
So, Olympic prep. What did that?
Jogging my memory. It's been like 12 years.
What did that look like? How was it?
Oh.
Also, tattoo. When the tattoo as well.
Oh, see, look, the tattoo is probably going to go somewhere else. It's faded.
Yeah. Just going to put like a West Coast premiership on the back of it.
Yeah. Prep. Geez, like, honestly, I would love to say there was like this massive prep that I did, but honestly, it was just saying yes to things. It was
just turned up.
Yeah, just like I turned up, had fun, said yes. I said no originally, but said yes and yes and yes and yes.
Yeah.
And then I just put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to impress people.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there was more to that, but it wasn't.
Olympic prep back then versus Olympic prep now.
Exactly. Like it's been 12 years, so it's been a long time.
Still got it there.
Yeah.
One footy and one non-footy thing that you're proud of.
Footy, I'm really proud of. Can I say two things? Yeah. Okay. Footy, I would say like my premiership, obviously like winning that at such a young age and doing it and getting the success. But also I think like development as like a senior player lately over the last couple of years I'm really proud of. Because I feel like you can go down the lane of being like, I'm a senior player, I've got this power. It's just kind of like humbling experience of being like, yeah, I am a senior player and I would love to lead by example. But it's through action. So I'm really proud of that. And then non-footy, I would say probably the last 6 months, like expanding my horizons after graduating, it can be really, really scary. And you kind of feel like you just get like thrown and dumped and it's like, you work it out from here.
Sink or swim.
Yeah. So really proud of, I guess, like how I went about the last 6 months and like just putting myself out there.
Yeah, it's good. And you definitely have. You just head down going. Yeah. It's good.
You're like, slow down.
No, it's good. Like, so that's the other way is like, I get very impressed by that proactive element. It's like the reason these two are down there slamming weights around are incredibly proactive. And the same thing like the meeting we had last week. Yeah. And you're like, I've got some ideas. I was like, mate, it's been 1 week. Settle down. No, that's good. That's what you want. And then that's all the coaches listening as well as like, come, just go. Just be proactive and go. Like, especially in organisations like this, there's so much going on. That's many hands makes light work. Like everyone works together and everyone brings their things to the table.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous before games?
Funny thing is, like, your brain doesn't know the difference between being nervous and being excited. Yeah. So I get excited. I wouldn't say nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go one more. Your favourite failure. So like something that you've failed at and then eventually in the long run.
No failures. No. Like we said before, like I think my ACL, like I'd come back from the off season, and I feel like I put a mountain of work and really made a mental change and being like, I'm really gonna give it. You know, I'm probably on my last bit of my contract. Like it could go either way here, but I'm going to give it everything. And then came back, did all like the preseason, and I just had like this new like energy and look at footy, and more of a like I was not the master. I was like learning again. I was the apprentice. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm. Like learning again and doing that. And then round one, kicked the first goal. Like felt fast, felt rapid. Like laced someone out, kicked a goal, went back to the middle, and then it got kicked straight out. And I had really poor judgment and tried to spoil my left side and then did my knee. So I had played 10 minutes of round one in 2022 in the second season. And it just felt like everything just went out the window. Like, I wouldn't say like a failure, but it's just like, I felt really let down. And it was kind of like, I'm out of contract. I played 10 minutes. I'm still studying. And it just kind of all happened all at once. And I put my head down and just really like focused on my rehab and what I could do and how I could come back a better player. Not where I was, but I wanted to come back better. Mm-hmm. And just kind of prove to everyone but myself as well, like, that I've still got it. I know I'm turning 27. I'm doing this and this and this. But it was just more like a setback, a redirection, rather than like, oh, I'm a failure and all that kind of stuff. So it teaches you a lot. And people often ask you, like, do you regret it? And it's like, well, I would love to have not done my knee. But what you learn about yourself, what you learn about the injury, like all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't change.
Yeah, that's something we can box up and give to it. Yeah. Box that up. But that genuinely, like, we say it to our guys in terms of like rehab's a huge opportunity, but you're living proof in terms of like, that's what a lot of them want to hear is like they really struggle. Sometimes we don't have that resources and high performance environment and network and things like that. So
and it can feel so endless.
Yeah.
Especially like long ones like knees, they just feel like endless. And I had setbacks like the first 12 weeks I had to redo like twice. Mm-hmm. Each time got shorter, but it wasn't straightforward. Like my screw was loose, so I had to go back under 4 months after, and then I had to restart, and you know what I mean? Like, so it's not straightforward, and they can really like tear you down. They can get to you, and it just feels a little bit endless. Like, fuck, I'm never gonna get to like 9 months. Or it like flip side, it's getting closer, and you're like, am I ready? Am I ready? Yeah.
No, that's good. That's an awesome note to finish on, because I feel like especially a lot of our rehab crew will resonate with that a lot.
Yep.
Because we have those convos all the time where they're struggling and they literally feel like it's never going to end.
Yep.
And then they're getting a little bit and then they get pushed back.
Yep.
They get a little bit pushed back. So it's like you just said, it's like it's an opportunity. Keep getting back up, keep going. It's okay. It's got like sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And the scales always come back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you always it will feel like you just get knocked back. It will come back to the middle, and then something good will happen. But the scales always come back to the middle, and like pain is temporary. It's not forever.
Yeah. We'll put that in a quote just on the wall.
Yeah, we'll just put that there, slogan.
But no, thank you for coming on. Cool. It's been unreal to have you on board first few weeks. It's going to be unreal to have you here.
Yep.
But yeah, any closing words?
No, just come see me if you want to hang out.
Come hang out.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.